Hello, fellow gardeners. Well, you can see we're looking at something different today. We're out here in western Oklahoma at a friend's greenhouse that, not really a greenhouse, it's just, well, it is a greenhouse, but he's got shade cloth over it, growing this greens in a shade, and I just wanted to show you again. We did this a couple, 3 years ago out here where he was growing it in a bucket with a piece of foam floating on top of it, and all he's got is a 2x6 tall box here with plastic lined with water about 4 inches deep in it, and he's got all these little cup holes cut in them, and you can see there what it's doing. I'll raise one of these up. See all that in that water down there? That's the way it grows. I don't like to raise that up. That's not good on the lettuce to do it, but I did that one. It'll probably struggle a little bit, but anyway, that's butter crunch lettuce. This is your red butter crunch right over there. This is your oak leaf right here. See how it's kind of got a curly leaf to it? That's oak leaf, and the other is this red butter crunch, and that is romaine. The tall one is romaine, and this is kind of grown a whole lot like your cucumbers I did in the barrels, and I'm going to talk to you a little later on about the cucumbers in the barrels because it struggles to work in the summertime when it's so hot. But anyway, we're just out here on business out here, and we thought we'd just show you what this looks like. We'll step on down here and show you some finished product. So if you'll just bring us on down here, Judy will walk down through and let them see this right here. We'll go right on down here. Now this is bok choy. See this bigger one right here? This is bok choy. It grows faster than anything. And now you can grow this lettuce on into the summer. This kind of lettuce, this butter crunch, the green and the red and the oak leaf. But I wouldn't recommend growing this bok choy in the summer. It's kind of prone to get bugs on it, aphids. And so if you grow it in the wintertime, while the aphids are not bothering you, it's okay. But once it starts getting warm in the spring, the aphids will go to this bok choy, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about right here. Look on that leaf right there at all the aphids and all. Let's get another one up. There's millions of them on there, see right there? But they won't get on the lettuce, they come to this bok choy. I'm going to hold it back up for you. See all them aphids right there, the little green bugs? They call them green bugs. On alfalfa outside, we call them green bugs, but they're aphids. But anyway, there's a million of them on there. But they come to this bok choy, so the best thing to do is put your bok choy back off by itself in the corner of the house or yard or something, so they'll go to it. But I'm just going to show you how you can grow this lettuce. All he has is a 2x6 nailed on the side of a plywood, lined with plastic. Got this floating. This is floating. So you can see I can make it move. It's floating in this water. Water's about 3 inches deep under that. It was about 4 when he started. And the wind is terrible here today. We're in western Oklahoma. There's no trees. Wind's probably blowing 35, 40 miles an hour. So that's the reason it's kind of noisy in here. But I just wanted to take you along and let you see what we see some of these growers doing. And Billy's one of the best growers I know of. We're going to go up to these greenhouses here, and to his tomato houses here in a little bit, and let you see what's going on up there. But I just kind of wanted to let you look at this lettuce, and tell you can do this in the same, in a protein mineral tub with a piece of styrofoam cut out this big enough so it'll float down in there, and it only takes, you can use those goat mineral tubs that's only about 10 inches deep or so, make wonderful lettuce deals. And I'll try to make a video of that when I get home, how to do that. So anyway, I just wanted to let you see this beautiful lettuce. And I'm gonna pull one of these up because he says he's gonna send one home with me. So I want you to see what it looks like. Now here's the roots on that little plant down in that water. Can you see it right there, how white they are? A beautiful set of white roots on a beautiful head of red oak leaf lettuce. And anyway, it's just wonderful what you can do with just a little effort. Now Billy starts these seed in the little 200 or 280 plugs in a flat, a 10 by 20 flat, and he puts one seed in each one of them. You don't want to double your seeds and mess things up, because they grow better if you've got one seed and it grows, you know, a real regular pretty head. If you got 2 or 3 seeds in there, it's going to grow sporadic and irregular, and this is the best way to grow it. But he puts those seeds in there, and of course they're floating in water just like these big plugs are. I don't know what I could pick out. I can't see. I'll show you one of them in just a minute. Let me get this one down. Now you can see there's his plug right there, and he just dropped it in this little old cup. He dropped this little old plug in this cup when it was real small, only about 1 inch tall, and it took off, and with its roots in the water, and the way it grew. And he does about the same thing as we tell you to do, 1 teaspoon per gallon, and put some Epsom salt in it and some sea mineral, and we'll talk about that more when we officially make one of these tubs for you. So anyway, we just want you to see, just bear with us, and we'll be up in the green end of the tomato house in just a minute. Okay, on the way to the tomato house, we stopped by the carrots, and Billy said this is something you don't want to do, is plant them so thick. And I'm going to show you, you see he never did thin this bed. He worked on another bed and just let this one go. But see, you can take, now I'm going to pull that one right there. See, it made a little carrot, but it made nothing like it's supposed to, because there's too many carrots in there. You need these carrots spaced out about every 4 inches so that they'll grow big. And of course that's going to be a good little eat, but you can't sell that at a market. I mean, it needs to be a longer carrot, you understand that, but it'd be good if we cooked it or something or ate it raw. But I just want you to know, don't leave your carrots thick like this. This just is in potting soil, like it's in your grow bag, in your mineral tubs. He built him some raised beds, and put some potting mix in here, and that's what he's done his carrots in. But he planted them too thick, and I just wanted to show you what not to do. He knows it's not supposed to be this thick, but he never did get around thin these beds. He's already pulled these other beds and took them in and sold them. He sells that lettuce at $4 a head, and he said it's no problem to sell 50 or 100 heads every weekend. So anyway, we want to see about that. Now look up here. Here's some broccoli he's got done the same thing with. He's already cut all of his broccoli and took it to market. This happened to be a little late head right here that he didn't go back and look at. I see a few of these that have already turned into a bloom. That's what a head of broccoli is a bunch of blooms, and if you leave it for a couple, 3 more weeks, it'll turn into open yellow blooms. But this is what you eat in broccoli. Now this is kind of a small head. He had a lot of big ones here that he sold earlier, but I just let you know this is good eating stuff when you're eating stuff like this that you grow, like this broccoli and like these carrots and like that lettuce, but it's wonderful tasting. Nothing like you get out of the store. So anyway, we're going on to the tomato house now. Okay, we're in the squash house now. And I wanted to show you a little bit about squash. It's Billy planted these seeds directly in these pots. And then when they came up on some cold nights, he used a styrofoam cup to set over it to keep it from freezing. Now there's no heat in here, no electricity in here. It's just a high tunnel, actually is what it is, had plastic on it. But he planted these seeds in there, and then as they come up in cold nights, he'd put that styrofoam cup over them, like I've told you to do some other things at home. But I want to show you a little about these squash now. They've grown on up a little bit and started blooming, and this is the reason we need bees in this country. We don't want to kill our bees, and yet we're killing them every day. This is the reason this squash dropped off because see, it didn't get pollinated, and so therefore it dropped off, it aborted. And here's another one I just pulled off that would have aborted. See here how it rotted, it didn't get fertilized, so it's not, and I don't mean fertilized, it pollinated. It did not get pollinated, no bees got into it. And I want to show you a little something about squash. You see this little bloom right here? Now it's already closed up today. I'll take it off because it's no good to Billy anymore. Let me take it off. You see that long stem behind it? That's a male bloom. That's not a female. That'll never make you a squash. All he's good for is pollinating the female blooms that's got squash on them. Now, I'm going to lay this down here. You see this one right here? Now there's a little female squash. You see it right there on that, under that bloom? Now that bloom's fixing to open up tomorrow. And here's the little male bloom. See, it's just nothing but a long stem. He will open up at the same time that one does. A bee or a fly will go in this male bloom, get that yellow pollen off of that center stamen. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. I take this bloom off, and you see that pollen? Judy, am I where you need to be? Can you see it right there?
Right, right on it.
Right on. Okay, see that pollen right there? You can see some of it on that leaf, but anyway, on that blossom. But anyway, you take that male right there and that pollen on a dry day when they open up in the mornings and all, and you take that, and when that bloom opens up, and you can rub it all over the center of that bloom down there on the bottom, way down in there, and that will pollinate that fruit. Now see, he's got a squash over here that he will pick today to go to the market tomorrow. No, this is not Friday. I'm sorry, this is Sunday. Next Friday he'll pull this and take it to market Saturday. But here's another little female. See this one coming on? There's another one of them coming on, and there's another little male bloom coming right down there that will be with her. And those will open up same time. Bees will get in there and pollinate that female bloom, and it makes a squash. You can do this by hand by taking this male like this. You can even save these up before they open, when they're about the day before they open, about like that, and you can save that and put them in the ice box, in the refrigerator, I guess you want to call it. I called it ice box when I was a kid. Put it where it's cold and save that 2 or 3 days until these females open up. Then you can get you one of these out, and you can hand pollinate those squash blooms with a male bloom just like that right there down in the side of it when it opens up. Don't force it open. You can't do that. You got to wait till the day it opens up. And if it's on a cloudy day, that's not a good day to do it. It needs to be the sun opening so it'll open it up. I just wanted you to learn a little bit about that squash. He's put a little powder down in there for ants or something. So anyway, some kind of dusting powder for bugs. Okay, then we're going to turn over here to the tomatoes. So Judy, just turn around to the other side here now. And you can see these tomatoes here. Billy put these out here probably, I don't know, 45 days ago or so. I imagine these plants, stuck them in here. He's already got tomatoes on here. This is not a good hand for me to show you, but there's one. Remember, we've had cloudy weather all spring here in western Oklahoma. He like to never got any blooms to open up on a sunny day to pollinate, because they only open up about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a sunny day, and that's the way that you get blooms open that you can either shake, or bees will get in there, or flies will get in there and pollinate them. But he's had cloudy weather, and the blooms just come on and then drop off because there was no sun. So that's the reason he's come up here, way up here. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's about the 6th hand he's got up here, that now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 tomatoes on. Here's his 7th hand right here. He's got 3 tomatoes on it. Some of these have a little more tomatoes than that. We'll go over and show you another one that's got some little heavier and a little bigger tomatoes. Okay, now we're here to this tomato plant here. Now, this looks good to you, I know. But to Billy, this is the sorriest crop he's had in 4, 5, 6 years, because of all the cloudy weather we've had this spring. And you can see he went up here for about 2 or 3 hands before he ever got any tomatoes. Here's his first hand, which has 3 tomatoes. Usually he has 5. He come on up. Here's the next hand right up here now. It's got 2 fair-sized ones and 2 little ones. He got 4 on this one. He come up to here. This is his 3rd hand, and he's got 3 little tomatoes on it. Here's his 4th hand that's coming on. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 blooms. These 2 are open. They probably got pollinated today. These 2 will open up in a couple more days. Or either they've already opened. I'm sorry. Those opened up a couple of days ago and got pollinated. These blooms will drop off and that little tomato will grow in behind that bloom. And now then, these 2 probably got pollinated today. That might get pollinated tomorrow. It's probably too late in the day, but I could shake that like right there and pollinate that if it was about 1 o'clock in the day, and it was sunny like it is. But anyway, because of the cloudy weather, his tomatoes are not making near what they'd made. You know, any other year he'd had 2 to 3 times that many tomatoes on this little plant, but it would be heavier instead of leggy like it is growing in the clouds. Anyway, you like these videos, punch the button, ring the bell, and subscribe. That helps us with our children's encouragement class, and we'll make you another video.